Are you excited? We're gonna cook. So, as you can see by the sliding menus we have up top, you're gonna see what we're making, and it's gonna be awesome. So, the first thing we're gonna start out with is so appropriate for me, okay? It's going to be amazing. I am baking a bunch of things for brunch with my friends on Sunday, and I'm allergic to wheat, and I have a friend who's allergic to dairy. So I had to get very, very creative with all of my recipes. So the first thing we're gonna do is the chicken. And if you'll notice, I have a hammer chilling here. A nice giant hammer that I'm very excited for. This is going to be the best. There's bacon involved in this recipe. A hammer is required for this recipe. It's great. So because it's stuffed, you have to kind of make a pocket. So you slice the chicken kind of like you're butterflying it, right? So we have chicken breast that I cut in half, and then you slice it most of the way in half so that it opens up. Whee! It's like it's flashing you. Plastic bag. You put the chicken in the bag, and then you mutilate it horribly. Violate the chicken. Hammer. Very satisfying. To make it easier because I'm stuffing the chicken, it gives me a bigger surface area to work with, and then it also makes the chicken more tender, and it also makes it cook faster because it is thinner. I need to actually make the filling. I have almost for cottage cheese. I have a whole bunch of broccoli. And then, of course, what else would you stuff chicken with but bacon? I just stuck filling in each chicken piece, and then I close the chicken over it. And then you take bacon and wrap the chicken in bacon and show it close with it. There is the finished product. So bacon wrapped chicken. Chicken in the oven. I am going to stick the chicken back in because the bacon on the top needs to brown a little. So let's see how my chicken is. Oh, it's so pretty looking. Look at this. Look at this. It's perfect. It's perfect. Bacon and chicken, and then the broccoli stuffing. Oh my god, it's a work of art. I love this. The chicken is so tender because I beat it into submission with a hammer. So worth it. Next thing is the hamburgers. I have some kind of onions, so right now I already have green scallions chopped. My salt and pepper that are the staples of my cooking. Salt, pepper, onions. I add a little bit of soy sauce. The last most important ingredient, the bacon. Always bacon. And so then I just make this giant pile of hamburger meat. But I really prefer mixing everything into the hamburger, so it just it soaks in into every single piece of the burger. That's what the hamburgers end up looking like. So I just let them cook a little on each side, and now they get to go in the oven. Hamburgers are indeed done. So look at how much they shrink. This is stupid. They're so tiny and little now. Little baby hamburgers. This is ridiculous. Now it is time for some biscuits. These biscuits are so super stupidly easy to make. And I cannot use butter. I love butter. I rely on butter, but I can't use it. And then I also have a gluten-free flour mix that makes life easy. Another cool thing about gluten-free baking that it took me a long time to learn, if you want your food to actually stick together and not instantly crumble into 1,000 tiny pieces, you have to use eggs. So even if a recipe doesn't call for eggs, I then add eggs, just because they're necessary. Look at that! What am I supposed to do with this? This is weird. You guys know what the difference between baking powder and baking soda is? I think my mom told me this when I was younger. But baking powder is just baking soda with cream of tartar added. So I don't know what cream of tartar does, But I feel like using baking soda instead of baking powder is just as effective. And baking powder tastes better. I wish I had a pastry cutter right now. So what I'm doing right now is it's called cutting. I'm cutting in the Crisco. So I'm just shoving my fork up against the side of the bowl over and over again, trying to mash out the Crisco so it forms these little chunks with the flour. There's this thing called a pastry cutter, which makes life easier. But as someone who moves a lot and lives in a small apartment, I cannot justify getting more junk. Because I approximate with recipes and can never follow the recipe exactly because I have to change so many ingredients, I have to get really good at judging consistency of what I'm working with. So right now the batter is still all dry and crumbly. It's not an actual batter yet, and these are supposed to be drop biscuits, so they should be gooey and sticky. So then I just add almond milk until it's the right consistency. Still not quite good enough. So now it looks like this. So it's not liquidy, but it's not dry and powdery anymore. Usually I would grease the pan with some butter, but I just took a piece of wax paper and I'm going to put a little bit of Crisco on it, and I use that to grease the pan. And I can decide if I want smooth biscuits, then I can smooth it out with my hands by just like rolling them in a ball. But I kind of like the spiky biscuit look. I think they look more homemade and less like I pulled them out of a freezer kit. See how they're kind of spiky? Ooh, and tilting. They're tilting. They are tilted biscuits. Some of them are smooth because I was smoothing them out to illustrate it, but mostly spiky biscuits. Nice and browned and pretty. So now they just go on a cooling tray, which I have over here where you can't see. Sorry. Our biscuits have cooled enough for me to store, so the cheese and scallion biscuits all done. So now, biscuits set and ready to go for brunch. Let's make our fruit tart. So this is another brunch thing that I'm making, and I've never made it before. So let's see how it goes. So it's a fruit tart. So it's essentially like an uncooked pie, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So it's gonna have a crust and a filling, and then fruit on top. I have to cut the Crisco into the flour, and then in this case sugar because it's pie. Now the irritating, I want a pastry cutter step again, but I can come reach out again. I realized this is the best way to do this. Stick hands in and squish it all together. So this is called a tart pan. The bottom will actually push up, and you can remove the edges, and then you can push the tart up through the bottom. And it's got these pretty ridged sides. So I have to press the dough up into the sides to take advantage of the prettiness of it. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. All pressed up into the edges. My tart crust is going to go in. The next thing is the filling for the tart. So once it's done and it'll have to cool, I'll add this filling. But I want to make the filling now better than cream cheese is what it's called. So this is just going to be the layer in between the crust and the fruit. So it's just cream cheese, sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. The crust is nice and browned, so it's done. So it's just going to sit up here and cool. So theoretically, one would slice these strawberries into slices. But that seems like way too much work for me. I really don't feel like doing that. I think half are going to be just fine for this. See, strawberries are all nice and sliced. I think it's very pretty as well. And then I also have peaches that are sliced already, and then raspberries. So see, this is the cool thing. Look, see? I don't need the sides of the pan anymore. The tart lifts up out from underneath the bottom. That's why this pan is so cool, and that's why it's a special one. So it's a nice boring white filling. We're gonna make it fun. And if it turns out purple because I mixed too much, that's okay. See, we are swirled and we look very Independence Day, but it's pretty. So this is what it looks like now. It did turn purple, but you can still see some of those. Okay, so now I just make it look pretty by sticking the fruit on top of it. It's going to be very cool looking, especially because I can pop it right up out of the pan. So this is what I've done so far. I have strawberries in the middle with a peach swirl, and then we're just gonna stuff it with strawberries and then raspberries on top. So that I literally almost just dropped on the ground. There's our fruit tart. Look at it. It does look pretty good. Now, do I pour it over or do I do the fancy thing and like brush it over? Yeah, brushing it over is really not gonna work. It works like a little bit. The raspberries do not approve. So this is the lovely fruit tart, and I will be making whipped cream out of coconut cream probably Sunday morning right before I go to brunch so that it is fresh and ready to go then. Next step, let's make the muffins. I like using brown sugar because I just, I think it makes the pastries more moist. I like to mix my sugar and my eggs together first before I add other things to get a more even combine. Yeah, so right now my batter looks like cookie dough. And actually, so when you bake normally, you can over-mix really, really easily, and then it makes your baked goods very tough. Okay. And then they don't taste very good, so that's why a lot of people try and make homemade cakes. They're terrible because they overmix them. But when you bake gluten-free, you actually need to mix a lot more to have good baked goods. Okay. I have achieved appropriate muffin consistency. So apple walnut muffin. So I have to actually peel an apple. Apples are peeled. Now we're dicing. Not chopping down. And I think my apple piece needs to be smaller, so crazy next time. I made a basic muffin mix, and now I can turn them into whatever I want. So I'm going to dump in some cinnamon and some nutmeg. It's hard to overpower with it as long as you don't make things dry by adding too much cinnamon. So like those are my ratios. That's all cinnamon, and then this tiny little dark stuff is nutmeg. Walnut. Same thing with walnut. I have a love of walnut. So although I don't have a pastry cutter, I do have this. This thing is magical. Normal walnuts into very finely ground walnuts very quickly. I just added, I like to make the walnut pieces small so that you don't have these like giant chunks getting in the way. So because it's brunch and I wanted to be cute, I've got these cute little muffin cups. Look how adorable they are. Alright, all the stupid mini muffins are in their stupid mini cups. We have muffins! They're like perfect. Look at that. Look how cute they are. Here is some of the food we made tonight when we cooked, guys. So there is a strawberry, peach, raspberry fruit tart with a lemon glaze. This is bacon wrapped chicken stuffed with ricotta and broccoli. These are apple walnut cinnamon spice muffins with a super cute wrapping paper on them for the muffin cups. And then these are some scallion and cheese biscuits that are very flaky and amazing and lovely. And in the fridge there are some bacon and scallion stuffed hamburgers that I haven't tried yet, but they're going to be incredible. So, thanks for cooking with me tonight. I had a lot of fun, and I have a lot of food to eat.